That's a platinum belt. That ain't no ordinary belt. That's a real rare belt.
And welcome everybody to another glorious episode of Student Body Right USC podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas, and as always, I am podcasting on the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful day out here in Southern California. PORSBR is my Twitter handle, so check me out there. Also, go to _podcast. That's _podcast, and we should be we'll be good to go there. You can catch up on some stuff from USC and some things I post there as well. So after week one, there is, it's funny because USC actually has a path to the playoff, right? And everybody, they're not ranked right now, which is, it is what it is. But they're one of the teams where their win probability in these games, and it's weird because they're ranked, but they have all this win probability versus good teams. So they're over 50% likely to beat Illinois at Illinois. They got to go do that first. So I'm not going to go crazy about that, but they actually, if they don't, how can I put it? If they do not get upset and they just win and the season plays out, the computers think they'll be 10-2. And the computers think they have the opportunity to go to the playoff. Right now, they have a 56.5% chance of going to the playoff right now. But listen, we have a long way to go before that. But I do think it's funny how they're not ranked. But they're not ranked. But on that side of it, they have such high, by all the analytics, they have such a high level of ability to make the playoff, if you will. So if they do what they got to do, we'll see what happens as far as that goes. So they're getting ready for Georgia Southern. So what we're going to do today is take a quick look at quick look back, and then we're going to give we're gonna talk about Clay Helton and give him some grace here, because I kind of think he kind of deserves a little bit of grace here. So go back in that game. Obviously, USC did a fantastic job defensively. On offense, they were on fire. Everybody got involved. And I think that's where something. I think somebody was saying something about maybe Kyron Hudson could have stayed, whatever. And I think I kind of like what they did here. I kind of like what they did here. They sat there and they said, we have the 2 stars, and then we're going to develop other people. And, everybody got involved. I think Tanuk Hines got involved. Also, Sims got involved. All these guys got involved in the offense. So that's something that's really good for them to develop. Because I think when you spend all this time recruiting players, really important to get them on the field. They have to earn it. They have to be able to play, and show that they can put those reps together and do what they have to do. But to see them in this situation, they really needed to show that they can make plays, that they can do what they need to do, and that they can be D1 players. And I think that's what I think you saw that from a lot of newcomers. Who just acclimated perfectly to this offense so far, and then you have guys who you recruited, and then you got them on the field. And I thought Lincoln Riley is the first time he's had a guy like the backup quarterback who he has to get on the field, because he is true freshman. He's a young guy. You got to get him on the field, as quickly as you possibly can. And that's something that really is important for this team because if Jada Mayava ever went down, Hussein Longstreet is going to be thrust into action, and they need him to play immediately. So that'll be that. That to me is what you are looking for as far as as far as as far as that goes. And again, you know, defense, they wanted to get the key to get that defense going. They wanted to get the tackles for loss and the sacks. They got 5 sacks. They got a bunch. They got 13 tackles for loss, and that should happen when you're playing a really when you're playing a team that's not equipped to 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 be on your level. Like I don't want to call them a bad team because at their level, they might Missouri State might be when they're playing people on their level, they might be a good team. But when they come play USC, that's what should happen. That's what should happen. That's really what should happen. So, I've obviously tremendous job by SC there, and statistically, every stat you can imagine is up is a stat that's in their favor. I mean, they absolutely destroyed them in this game. So, um, it's good to see that they're able to do those things when they really need to. Obviously, we talked about it before, the slow build towards the Illinois game, right? So now you have every week they play the opponent gets better, and now you enter Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern is a solid football team. They're higher level. They have better players. This is still a game that USC should win, right? USC right now is 24 and a half point favorites in the Coliseum to totally dismantle them and beat them. And I think they will. It might take a little bit longer. You might see some more plays from the opponent. Who knows? Like, I mean they did not play well uh Georgia, Georgia Southern when they played at um at Fresno State. They did not play well against Fresno State. Fresno State ran for over 300 yards against them, so that's not really, um, you know, that's not good football. That's not good football here. So that's tough to see. If you're a fan of that, I mean, it's just tough to see. But I mean, for USC, they come in. I think they come in and just do the same thing. I know fans are out for blood because of the coach of the other team. I mean, we can sit there and just like go crazy about that if you want to, but at the end of the day, like Clay Helton didn't hire himself at USC, so there's that. I mean, the guy did not hire himself, so we got to like calm that down. But it is what it is. Jada Mayava had the second highest QBR in the nation. Um, so he looked comfortable. He got rid of the football on time. Did some really nice things. The freshman out of Cal had a good game too as well. So that was that was cool to see that hopefully he stays. Hopefully he stays at Cal. But I like what I saw from Jaden. I thought he was fine. I thought he was really good. He was checking off boxes. He was doing that. Homegrown. I think you saw a lot of guys start, and people were like, "Oh my God, why is that guy starting over the transfer?" I think first of all, if number one, if it's even, you can forget about it. I mean, they're gonna go homegrown all the time. They want to show people that homegrown people over transfers all day. I mean, that transfer has to be something real special in order to get that done. So, good job by obviously everybody involved for week one, and then now you get ready for that next game. So the next game, really, before I mean, on Thursday we'll do a preview with Coach B, and we'll talk about Georgia Southern in depth. But I gotta say that for me, when I look at this whole situation with Clay Helton, listen, it didn't work out. Clay Helton is a probably a solid football coach. He is probably not, and he showed that he's not. He is not a good football coach at this level. Could he sprinkle in a Rose Bowl victory? Of course he could. But and I know he is basically the most he personifies what we don't like about a coach at USC. But again, he interviewed because who wouldn't interview for the football coach, if you're a football coach at USC? Well, why wouldn't you interview? All right. But I can't really kill the guy. He was in over his head. He didn't hire himself. He was able to he able to give you at least one moment, you know, one big time moment with Sam Darnold on Rose Bowl. But I mean, the guy he wasn't the guy, and he wasn't a high level coach, and that's fine. He's a good coach for the level he's going to be at. He's not an SC coach. And I get the hatred, man. I get people. I think you should hate the era more than you hate the guy who got who got hired. And I'm not sitting there saying, I don't know him from a hole in the wall, as far as that goes. But from all accounts, good person just wasn't able to just took a job that was over his head, and clearly this job was over his head. It was clearly over his head, no question about it. As far as that goes, Eli Sanders on that screen pass, he was running 21.9 miles per hour. So that is by that's as far as you get that information from Real Analytics. R Analytics kind of posted that as well. I thought I talked about this too as well before, and that was Marquise Gallegos, who's a guy who just came through. I mean, it doesn't think he could, when you have guys who you recruit and you have guys who come through here, it's kind of cool to see him like just come in and just get a bunch of tackles for loss, all those things like that. In a backup, obviously a backup role, but again, the backups are important because you're going to have injuries in football. So if he has to come in for a couple of weeks, come in for a couple of series. He's seeking missile and played great. Um, so that was always something that you want to see. You want to see that from as many guys as humanly possible. You want to see that from as many players as humanly possible. You want to see that from guys from guys all over the place. For SC, a lot of guys got into this game, and I thought it was really good. I mean, Zacharias Williams got into the game. Like all these guys got into the game, and were able to play, and that's good for the experience to get on the field as well. Wayman Jordan, talked about his. He doesn't really want to hear the good things from coaches. He wants to hear all things he can work on. He just sounds like the perfect running back as far as like just being a dog and being a guy who can make people miss, make some great runs, and just wants to be, one of the best. And I think that's something that you want definitely want to look at and continue to monitor with him. Obviously the secondary safety tandem is going to be something that we like to see as well. So to continue to grow the way Bishop Fitzgerald played. He talked about as soon as the guy finished his route and got to the stem of his route, he knew on that interception that he was going to be able to just burst through and get an INT. So he did that. Let me see any other news and notes from this game. Let's see here. Offensive player of the week in the Big Ten was Jaden Mayava. So you had that. And I think that was kind of it as far as as far as that goes. It sounds like Georgia Southern will be in Oxnard practicing. I kind of figured that Georgia Southern would stay out in California. It makes sense if you're gonna play if you're Georgia Southern and you're gonna play back to back weeks against Fresno State and USC. It would make sense to stay out here, and they're doing that. It should not make any difference as far as that goes. Um, as far as that goes, so we'll see what happens about that. Notre Dame loses. I think it's it. I tell you, Notre Dame loses to Miami, and then now they're in a situation where they're kind of their whole season is because people expect them to beat us. But like I said, let that happen first before I give that game to Notre Dame. But now they're gonna go all in when they play their next home game or in the next couple of weeks when they play Texas A&M. It's a pretty good Texas A&M team with a good young quarterback in Marcel Reed. They don't have the leeway now, and their runway gets. This is where they have to. I know last year they ran the table, but this is the position you put when you don't play in a conference. This is the position they put themselves in because I don't think if they lose, let's be honest, even if USC is highly ranked and then USC loses at Notre Dame, if they're 1-2 in those games, Miami, Texas A&M, USC, that's going to be an issue for them making the playoff. And according to them, this is the team. Like this is the team that they have. This is the team that they should be able to make the playoff with. So I would say really something to think about if you were a SC. I'm sorry if you're a Notre Dame fan. They have to win that game. And then I kind of like USC going at Notre Dame if they continue to play like this, because if they do beat Texas A&M, you got Notre Dame playing for their season. I like them being on the pins and needles for them playing for their season. I mean, that's a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure and in South Bend if that's the case. So you got to watch that one. At UCLA got destroyed by Utah. Utah might be back. But yeah, I mean, listen, they're a mess. They're not serious about football. And just seeing, I don't know what I would do if I was them. I really don't know what I would do if I was them. I would maybe try to find a soccer field to play in, to play at, or something like that. I mean, when you watch people try to give USC gripe about the Coliseum and how many fans, whatever. But the Rose Bowl is just too big of a place for them to play. The Rose Bowl is way too big for UCLA to play in. It's way too big. They can't fill it. It looks bad on TV. It just, I mean, you got to have some kind of situation, if you will, if you really want to make the Rose Bowl look bad, because the Rose Bowl, when you have two teams in there who fill it, it looks beautiful. And then when you play there and you're supposed to be the home team, you make it look bad because it looks like only like 20,000 folks are in there. So I don't know. I don't know. Not that I should have cheered for UCLA, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It looks bad. All right. Thursday night, we will have the preview for the Georgia Southern game. You hear all the views you want to hear from Coach B, and we'll get that thing going for you. As USC gets ready for another home game coming up here against Georgia Southern and Clay Helton. And I know they're going to be a lot of anti-Clay Helton paraphernalia at the stadium. Like I said, relax. He's a nice guy. Didn't work out, and he didn't hire himself. Simple as that. All right. Fight on, folks. Fight on.